Hey, good morning. So I'm gonna leave another little video here apart from the quantifying abuse series because I'm feeling some neurological pressure right now to say some things. It took me a while to realize that I was a little barometer from the environment. Like again, I took a lot of those things as anxiety. They're not anxiety. I'm picking up stuff from the environment. And right now it's a lot of anger and pain, and I know what's happening. The divine feminine is pissed. She's pissed. She's globally pissed. Um, and like when she reaches her peak, you better fucking hide. There's a reason that the divine feminine was quieted and then siphoned from. It's because she's infinitely more powerful than the divine masculine. The divine masculine was supposed to protect us, not get jealous and then steal our energy. It's quite pathetic, really. I left my abusive relationship. I wasn't quiet about it, right? I knew I was in trouble. I was not mentally okay. I needed help, and I was not okay being alone. But I was left alone. Like I was basically abandoned. Um, and me knowing the human being I am, even now, like I don't think the divine feminine should live alone ever. Like I don't think we're meant to be alone. So the fact that we've been kind of forced into positions where there's a whole bunch of women that have been abandoned by families is extremely detrimental to society en masse. I want to remind you, when I say divine feminine, it doesn't mean you're female. When I say divine feminine, it means you're on the emotional side of your brain. If you are on the emotional side of your brain and you tend to attract competitive people, you're on our team. And it's 50% of society, but it swaps sides. My father was divinely feminine, and he was the greatest man that I knew. And I think we have a whole pack of them in the generation below me that are male. I think these ones are warriors. Now, the fact that I'm a data person isn't innate. That's a skill that I built that was defensive. People don't like me to be right. People actually disagree with me on purpose. And it took a while for me to figure out that it wasn't me, right? But I know what happens. I meet people, and first they get my looks, right? And they can be very disarming if you haven't met me. And then they get the fact that I'm kind. And by the time I get to the point where I can even show somebody that I'm intelligent, they want to stand on top of me. They want me to be wrong. So I started to develop a skill to always come to the arguments that I had to have with backup data. I came with paperwork so I could be right. This included with my family. Like I needed receipts with my family. They would not believe me innately. So when I was in my abusive relationship and I needed help, I went to them with proof. Like I went to them with emails. I CC'd them on everything. Like there was no doubt on paper what was going on. It was all on paper. But even though I brought that to them, even though I pushed that paper across the table, they still empathized with the person that was hurting me. They still empathized with the person that was ripping my life apart. That's when I realized that that's exactly what was happening. They weren't empathizing with the pain. They were empathizing with his control. They empathized with power and control. They did not empathize with pain. They weren't siding with who they thought was morally right. They were siding with who they thought would win. It took me a while to realize that there was an entire generation that was basically programmed to hate us. They were programmed to hate us, not realizing that if you cull the divine feminine from the environment, the whole world ends. It's all connected. My mother was basically programmed to hate me. She was programmed to hate the emotional side of her brain by her father, who had to do that as well to survive the war. That's when I realized through trauma, the war daddies made themselves a pack of lemmings. Their daughters were taught neurologically that they would stay safe as long as they followed, malicious or not. So they follow. It is this generation of broken mothers that have broken the world. Not only by taking their emotional little divine feminine light bulbs and berating them and demeaning them for their entire life, but also raising a generation of men who don't even know what a woman is. A whole generation of men whose viewpoint on women is so malformed because their mothers were broken. If you meet a real woman, you will fight a war for her. That's why she has so much power. The ones that made it past their childhood have literally been sucked dry, literally and figuratively, taken out by a pack of billionaires who basically pick them out of a fucking catalog. I know what happens next. Like, the only thing that we need is a leader that's polarized, far emotional, and everybody will follow, right? Because they're the most controlling. All the people that are polarized left that follow controlling people will just follow the leader as well. They're that morally pliable. The problem is right now is we don't have any good people. Well, some good people, but there's not enough good people in power.